Listen up, Naptown, because we have massive news exploding out of training camp today. The shoe is buzzing, and you will not believe what just went down on the indoor turf. Our offense is looking absolutely lethal, and a certain signal caller is throwing straight fire and dropping dimes all over the yard. But we also have a very scary injury situation brewing that could shake up the entire depth chart. Smash that like button right now and subscribe to the channel if you bleed blue, because this Circle City update is guaranteed to blow your mind. The Indianapolis Colts wrapped up their fourth practice of training camp on Saturday with a standout performance from quarterback Daniel Jones inside the Grand Park Sports Campus. Since his arrival, Jones has remained a central figure for our organization, and seeing him thrive after the Achilles injury he suffered back in December is a major relief for everyone who follows this team. Saturday marked the first time the squad had to move indoors due to weather, yet Jones handled the environment with poise, finishing 12 of 15 passing with 3 touchdowns during 11-on-11 work. He displayed the same mobility that defined his 8-2 start last season, effectively silencing any lingering doubts about his health or his ability to lead this offense under Steichen. The truth is, his comfort level in the red zone compared to the struggles of his peers was impossible to ignore. Colts fans feel a renewed sense of optimism watching Jones march the ball down the field with such efficiency, especially since he clearly targeted Josh Downs as his primary weapon throughout the session. While the veteran signal caller looked sharp, the rest of the quarterback room faced a much tougher road, with Anthony Richardson struggling to find rhythm and Riley Leonard providing only a brief highlight with a 50-yard bomb. This stark contrast in production creates a compelling narrative as camp continues to heat up. We have to ask ourselves, however, how much of this efficiency is a result of the simplified red zone schemes versus a genuine return to his previous peak form as our undisputed leader under center. The most surprising development from Saturday inside the indoor practice facility was the clear physical gap appearing between our starting quarterback and the rest of the roster. Daniel Jones looked exceptionally sharp during red zone drills, completing 12 of 15 passes and showing zero lingering effects from the serious Achilles injury he sustained last December. This return to form is critical because we all remember how effectively he led this unit to an 8-2 start last season before that setback halted our momentum. The front office and coaching staff are clearly prioritizing his health above everything else, and seeing him scramble with confidence suggests they are managing his recovery masterfully. The bottom line here is that while we hope for growth from the younger signal callers, their struggles to move the ball against a stout secondary highlights exactly why stability at this position remains our highest priority for the upcoming campaign. Behind the scenes, Chris Ballard and Steichen are likely breathing a collective sigh of relief, knowing that their investment in his rehabilitation is paying dividends right when we need it most. We must also watch the status of Hunter Wohler closely after he left the field early today for treatment. Losing depth in the secondary would be a significant blow, especially while our defensive leaders like DeForest Buckner continue to be eased back into the rotation following his recent neck surgery. It is a balancing act for the staff, and managing these veteran snaps while testing the younger players for key depth roles will be the defining challenge as we prepare for the long road ahead this season. So that's the news from Grand Park. But now let's look at why this really matters for the season ahead. Here's the thing nobody wants to say out loud while we enjoy these training camp highlights. The stakes are incredibly high because Daniel Jones is clearly operating on a different level than our other quarterbacks, meaning Steichen must manage a massive gap in reliability should Jones encounter any setbacks. Seeing Jones look so mobile after his December injury provides us with a sense of relief. Yet the drop-off in production from the backups reminds us just how much our competitive edge hinges on his health. This roster management is crucial right now, especially with veterans returning to the fold and depth battles intensifying at safety and wide receiver. These practice reps represent the final window for players like Hunter Wohler or Justin Wally to solidify their spots before we face those critical AFC South showdowns. If our secondary continues this level of disciplined coverage and the defensive line stays fresh, we will absolutely disrupt the rhythm of our division rivals when the real games begin in September. The way our younger players are contributing on special teams and finding explosive plays in the run game suggests that we are building a more versatile team than last year. we're looking at a squad that can adapt to different styles of play, which is a massive boost to our playoff ambitions. It is clear that the front office and coaching staff are prioritizing depth and consistency, setting the stage for what we all hope is a deep and successful run into the winter months. The decision to lean into Daniel Jones as our primary signal caller carries significant weight, as his mobility and veteran command offer the highest ceiling for this offense. By operating with such precision in the red zone, he provides the stability we desperately lacked last season, allowing playmakers like Josh Downs to flourish in their expanded roles. And I cannot stress this enough. The upside of having a quarterback who has already proven he can lead this team to an early season winning record is massive for our locker room morale. However, the downside remains his durability, and any setback regarding his past injury could derail the entire campaign before it even gains real momentum. Other teams and league analysts are currently debating whether this reliance on Jones will eventually stifle the development of younger prospects like Riley Leonard or Anthony Richardson Sr., who each offer different developmental trajectories for our future success. While some observers suggest we should be rotating these younger arms more aggressively to prepare for eventualities, I find that skepticism slightly overblown given how effectively Jones performed in practice. My honest take here is that we have to prioritize winning right now, and Jones is simply the most reliable option under center at this stage of camp. While it is natural to feel anxious about the health of our depth chart, seeing the progress of players like Justin Wally and Colby Wooden provides a strong sense of security for the unit. We must maintain this competitive intensity throughout the coming weeks, as the battle for roster spots will ultimately define the strength of our depth when the regular season grind finally arrives in September. When you combine the impressive command shown by Daniel Jones with the growing depth of our roster, the broader outlook for this franchise becomes clear. We are building a veteran-led squad designed to win right now. Think about it this way. The consistent performance we saw indoors at Grand Park indicates that Shane Steichen has this team positioned to handle adversity throughout a long season. As Indianapolis Colts fans, you should feel incredibly confident about the upcoming campaign because we are seeing stability at quarterback and a defense that is already stifling opponents. Watching Sauce Gardner lock down his side of the field while our front line maintains its intensity gives us the rare balance required for a deep playoff run. The way our younger players are pushing the veterans for roster spots creates a healthy competitive environment that only strengthens the collective talent of the group. We are transitioning from a team with potential into a group that demands respect on every snap. With the competition at safety between AJ, Halsey, and Hunter Wohler becoming a primary focal point of camp, I have to ask you a direct question. Based on his performance through 4 days of practice, do you believe Sauce Gardner has already solidified himself as the clear leader of this secondary? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. For the shoe, I'll see you in the next one. Your continued support means the world to our small community, so hit that notification bell to stay updated with all our latest deep dives, breakdowns, and expert analysis arriving throughout this busy season.